Sonequa Martin-Green, everybody. Big Texas thank you for joining us. What time is it? It's 6 this evening?
Oh yeah, this is, we having a little pre-dinner, celebration right now. How y'all doing?
We'll get that later. Yo, so I was figuring this out. Today is May 30th.
Huh?
It's a special day.
Yeah?
Oh, it's the 31st. Yesterday was the 30th.
31st.
Sorry, yesterday was the 30th. Tomorrow is June. I thought there were 30 days in May. Obviously, I don't know calendars. But yesterday was the 30th, which was the 1-year anniversary of the finale of Star Trek Discovery.
Oh my God.
Is this just dawning on camera?
Yes. But the crazy thing is that yesterday I thought about it. Yesterday I was like, man, we gotta be coming up on the year at some point soon. And I was just thinking about it, I was like, man, I should do something. I should, little did I know it was the actual day that I was thinking this. I did not know.
You put it in the universe and it gives it right back.
Oh my gosh. I cannot believe it has been a year.
Crazy. Crazy. Look, now that it has been a year, the dust has settled. I'm sure you guys weren't shooting a year ago, but it aired a year ago. Now that the dust has settled a little bit, do you get the itch to want to put back on Michael Burnham's uniform?
Oh, that's a good question. Alex Kurtzman, he was one of the co-creators of the show, and he was a co-showrunner, along with Michelle Paradise. He decided to put Starfleet Academy in the same timeline, and I thought that was very smart, and there's opportunity there. And he and I have talked about it, like, oh, that would be so nice. And so I think it would be a lot of fun to do that. And I did a Delta commercial. I don't know if any of y'all fly Delta.
I fly Delta. I've seen
Did y'all
commercial.
see it? It was the Wi-Fi thing, like, oh, this is how you get connected to Wi-Fi on the flight. You saw it? It was with Seth, the entertainer. And that was really fun too. And it just comes right back to, it's so dope.
That's so wild. Now, we know, wait, is everybody caught up on Discovery that's in this room? I hope you are. Okay.
He's not.
You're not? Season 3. All right, look, I'm gonna cut into a little bit of spoiler territory. You good with that? Plug your ears? Earmuffs? Okay, so Burnham got her happy ending. She got her happy ending. I do want to know though, is there a bit of, because I know that this was supposed to run 6 seasons. Is there still unfinished business that you have playing this character? Is there still stuff you want to resolve personally with Michael Burnham?
That's also a good question. So that's funny that you say that it was supposed to be 6 seasons, because in the very, very beginning, it did seem like it was going to be a 6-season situation, because like the contract for Pinewood Studios was for 6 years, and there were like some other things. But we actually assumed that it would go 7, and so it was a shocker. But TV has completely changed. I always say that because it's a totally different landscape these days than it was in the 90s and even the early 2000s. But I can honestly say that I don't feel like I have any unfinished business, because we jumped ahead.
Well, he's in season 3. He knows. That happens at the end of season 3.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Yep. So yeah, I'll just leave it at that.
Well, correct me if I'm wrong, but you also came on as an executive producer, season 4?
I did. I was a producer first, and then executive producer for the last season. But from the very beginning, I was a producer pretty much.
I was going to ask you, having the title of producer, does that change your approach to the role at all?
No, but I did have a lot to learn, because I became producer, and I didn't understand what that meant, right? And I took it so seriously, because I took it all so seriously, and I wanted to do everything. And I didn't understand that being a producer is another job, and I I wasn't able to give it what I wanted to give it. I was involved, I was in there, you know, making really important decisions and on the conversations. I was kind of like that from the beginning, so it was pretty easy, you know, getting it on paper and kind of formalized. But I had to pull back coming into season 5, and this was a conversation I had with the showrunners and the other producers. I was like, I am actually not going to be able to do this. I need to go back to just focusing on being Burnham, you know, because it split my focus a lot, and that was also the COVID year too, which was really difficult for all of us. And then there were all kinds of other tragedies that happened that season too. But it changed me in terms of my approach to it, because more than anything, just because it pulled me so much. And so I would say that the change was probably not the best thing, because I was so pulled. I always wanted to have a bird's eye view or a God's eye view of it and see what, because we all have equal share, and see like, okay, where is everybody fitting? How is everything going? I was always wanting to be a shepherd of everybody's story, because I felt like that was my job to do that. So as a producer, you do learn more, and you do get to be more of a conduit between the actors and production. You get to be like a bridge. So that had to have helped some, I guess. But for the most part, it was really challenging. I learned a lot, though. I'm so grateful for it.
So, out of curiosity for you, what was your entry point into Star Trek?
Thank you for sharing that.
I appreciate that. Oh, thank you.
My entry point was Discovery.
At least you're honest. What? So have you watched any of the other stuff since?
Oh my gosh, yes.
Okay.
So yeah, and I mean, look, like I knew what Star Trek was growing up.
I think everybody does.
Everybody knows, right? And I knew Uhura, and you know, I knew of it, you know, and I would always say, when people would ask, like, were you a Trekkie or a Trekker when you were coming up? And it was like, no, I mean, my parents would watch it. And so I would see it, and I'd be like, oh, you know, and then I'd go run off and do whatever I was doing, go climb a tree or something I was doing. So it kind of like osmotically, maybe I knew about it, but like the full-on entrance was Discovery.
Fair answer, fair answer.
Yeah, but in the beginning, I watched a lot of like, oh, what is this world? Let me dive in. It was TOS and Enterprise, because they had such a Vulcan presence in both of them. So I needed to learn, like, what is it to be Vulcan? You know, because that was where we started with Burnham, was when she was still trying to be Vulcan.
If you can go back and relive one scene that you were in, not to change your performance, but to absorb it and understand, this is so cool that I'm here, what would that scene be for you?
Oh man, that's a good question. Honestly, I mean, I feel like it would be sitting in the chair for the first time. I would want to experience that again. Because I never sat in the chair, ever, until you see it in the episode. So when we would have scenes on the bridge, I would never sit in it. Because I'm like, not yet, we're not there yet, I haven't earned it yet, you know? And there was one time in season 1 when we went to the mirror universe where I had to sit in it on the Shenzhou, but it was the mirror Shenzhou. So that was a little different, and you know, I had to sit in it then just because the scene called for it. But I just refused. Discoveries I never ever did. So when we shot it, it was such a big moment, and all of us were like up all night, like before we shot it. Like Alatunde Hashinsami was, you know, one of our executive producers, our producing director. He directed that episode. He directed many of them. He's brilliant. And he was up all night because he was just like, oh my goodness, we're shooting the scene where you sit in the chair for the first time. This means so much, this means so much. Our DP at the time was just like, I didn't sleep last night. Oh my gosh, we're shooting this scene. Like, this is such a big deal, this is such a big deal. And I was pregnant with my daughter she's in my stomach, like in that time, you know. And so just the way it was shot, all of it, it was so special, and we all knew it. We all knew what it meant. And I would go back and live in that again.
Is there a Star Trek cast, if it could happen, that you'd like to cross over with?
Oh gosh, you have all of them. I mean, I would love that. I would love crossing over with anybody. And I mean, back to one of your earlier questions about which captain brought me in. Like I'm so excited to see more of Cisco. Like I don't know what to do. And yes. And I love like the bits that I have seen of Voyager, because I watched a little bit of everything, and then I watched a lot of TOS and a lot of Enterprise, but I ended up watching a little bit of everything. And I realized, I was like, oh, I'm not going to be able to watch all of this in the time that I have. It's going to take me years to get through all of this. And I would also love to see more of Janeway too, because you know, they're all such powerful actors. But I've now forgotten your question.
I think you answered it. It was about
so sorry.
Over with any other cast, but I feel like you
all of them, yeah.
All of them. A Star Trek, I guess, like Infinity War type of.
I know, yeah, like, you know, just all of them. Just like, let's have everybody there. I think it would be so amazing to see all the captains come together and have to do a mission together.
How cool would that be?
Like what? That would be amazing.
Especially now that we can do this, we're diving into animation.
Yes.
Star Trek for everything.
Absolutely. Thank you.
You know, you played so many strong characters, but two that stand out, obviously, are Michael Burnham and Sasha from The Walking Dead. My question for you is, what did those two characters teach you about strength that you kind of use now and channel now for anything in your daily life?
Oh man, y'all. That's a really good question. I've said this before. I've said this before on panels, but I mean, it's just the true answer. So I'll just have to repeat it. I am particularly fascinated with sacrificial people, people of honor, who put their lives on the line for people they don't know. Every time I start to talk, I feel like I could cry. Essential workers, veterans, you know, cops, firefighters, like, who just are willing to go die, maybe. Maybe I'll die today. I'm like, excuse me, I wanna be like that.
It takes a special kind of person.
It does.
Yeah.
And I wanna be that. I wanna be a warrior in service. And so I feel that being able to play these women who are like that, Sasha grew to that.
Yes.
And then ultimately gave her life for everybody. And then Burnham, just, my goodness, of course, like she grew, she started there, but it was sort of like in her own way, and it was filtered through her trauma. And there was a lot of trauma that Sasha was dealing with too. But getting to that place of just like willing to die right now. I'll do it right now. Where? I'll go. For people I know and for people I don't know. For a future I've never even seen that I won't see. Sure, let's go. I'll die today. You know, I learned that and then became even more like desiring of it in my real life from playing these women. And it's that for me it's that Christ-like willingness to put your life down for others. That's the greatest love of all.
Burnham and Sasha could switch places. Who would survive longer in the other's universe?
See, he's trying to on the slide make me choose between my children.
No, I mean, they're just thinking, I feel like Michael Burnham would approach a zombie apocalypse a lot differently than any other character in The Walking Dead. And then Sasha being on the Enterprise, to me, is such a fascinating idea. I'm not saying which one you like more. I just want to know how well they would do in each other's universe.
Oh, man. This is good. This is good. Because you're also dealing with two completely different time periods.
Yeah?
So you got, how many years is there between
Like 200?
2256 when we started in season 1 to like, let's say, when Walking Dead started 2011, right? How many years is that?
It's 240 years?
240 years, okay, yes, math people. Then how long ago was 240 years? 1785? So it'd be like going back to 1785 to be...
For Michael Burnham, you mean?
Yes, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, and then for Sasha, same thing. It's going that far into the future. And let's not even talk about 3188, where we ended up in season 3. So that's a lot more years, you know, to go from like 2011 to, or 2013 or 2014, whatever, to 3188. And then you gotta like be on a ship and, you know what I mean? And aliens and like, I don't know. That is, I have never heard that question before in my life. That is such a fascinating question. I think maybe it's easier to go back to the past.
With zombies, though? I mean,
They are like aliens.
I guess that's true. That's a great way of looking at it, actually.
Honestly, because I think for both of them, Sasha would probably be so like defensive against everything. And it's like, no, this alien is good. Like,
Yeah.
this is not good.
She has a tremendous.
Yeah, and it's like everybody who, you know, it's like, man, what do y'all think? Because I don't know.
Yeah, I do too, actually. I think Michael would have solved the zombie apocalypse, I feel like.
I didn't want to say it, but I think Michael would go back and regulate, like you guys are doing this all wrong.
She would take
This is how things need to happen. So you need to be at the quarter side, you know, da 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 da. You need to da da da. This is what we're gonna do. We're gonna, you know, it would be very like, you know. She knows how to be on mission.
Absolutely.
And how to like problem solve and be hyper creative and get it done. So yeah, man, Michael Burnham would kill it.
That's a fact. That's
She
true.
would kill it. And Sasha would eventually.
It'd take her a little bit, but
I think it would. She would warm up to it, and then she would be highly, highly useful. Highly. And yeah, Captain Burnham would be running things. Probably.
But guys, let's give it up for Sonequa Martin-Green. Thank you so much.
Hey, listen, can I just say, I want to stand and clap for y'all. This has been such a good day. It was such a good night last night. This is probably my last con for a long time. So I'm so glad that, maybe, I hope I'm wrong. Maybe I'll be wrong, but I feel like I'll be busy. But I'm so happy that I got to bring it out with you guys.